Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from today. Welcome. My name is Amal Kadata. I'm the founder and CEO of NUI, Blue Finance Startup. And NUI is a member of naturetech Collective, which is a space to support and expand naturetech through connection and collaboration, and a community of diverse stakeholders from tech providers, project developers, corporations, investors, academics. And within naturetech Collective, I'm coordinating a series of webinars and workshops focused on ocean tech and open to the public. So make sure you follow naturetech Collective or NUI to hear about upcoming webinars. And the reason why I'm organizing this reverse pitch is that as a fellow founder in the ocean space, who came from different academic and professional backgrounds, I understand and do value the unique support of the ocean ecosystem and the ocean community. So I spent time mapping ocean programs and collecting feedback. And a lot of the programs have a global or otherwise regional scope, which makes sense because ocean health is a global topic we need to address all together. So the lineup today is a selection of programs that have been supporting innovation in the blue economy, from Singapore to the Bahamas and from South Africa to Norway. Programs will be pitching and sharing what type of startups they're looking to support and how they bring value to them. And you, as a founder, you are the judge. So look for the programs that might fit you in terms of sector, geographic focus, and stage, whether it's relevant to you today or maybe later on your journey. And that way you could keep them on your radar for when applications are open and when you're ready to apply. And this is not an info session about each program, so only short and concise pitches. And for that reason, chat is disabled. We won't be taking any questions. So I encourage you to follow the programs, or at least the ones you're interested in. And I will share with you relevant links to find them, stay up to date, and get in touch if needed. You can scan this QR code and put it in the chat as well for the references that you need from the programs. And again, these are only some programs. There are dozens more. So how to explore more? I could recommend a couple of resources, and I'll share the links as well. One is from 1000 Ocean Startups, which is an alliance of startup programs, venture studios, and other ecosystem enablers that are working to see 1000 successful ocean startups. They have a monthly newsletter via email. And the second one is the Ocean Opportunity newsletter, which is a weekly LinkedIn newsletter that lists ocean programs that are open for applications, as well as grants and other funding opportunities. And last thing, this is being recorded, so you get a notification via Luma as soon as the recording is online. And without further ado, I'm inviting on stage Hatch Blue. And Benedict, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Amal. As we get the screen up and running for you, firstly, I just want to say thank you so much, Amal and team, for organizing this. I've always really appreciated the idea of a reverse pitch. Never thought my first reverse pitch would be me reverse pitching. Thank you everyone for your time. It is 11:06 p.m. in Singapore, and I am thrilled. I've never been so excited at 11:06 p.m. My name is Ben. I am the program director at Hatch Blue. I oversee our global accelerator called Crest, along with an amazing team of colleagues in the blue economy, and more specifically in aquaculture. So without further ado, let's click. Right, so to kick off, our mission at Hatch Blue is really a climate smart, truly sustainable, and just seafood transition. We are aquaculture and alternative seafood sector specialists. And our mission is to catalyze an innovative seafood industry and scale impactful businesses through knowledge, investment, and ecosystem building. You'll see how this really comes into play as I go along in the presentation and say more about the Crest Accelerator program. But a bit more about Hatch Blue before I get into that. You can think of us as four main business units. The first business unit, Hatch Investments, We manage and operate 3 funds with an AUM of 130 million US dollars. We have an in-house consultancy called Hatch Innovation Services that does a range of work, some public, some private, that we cannot disclose, but it's filled with senior industry professionals with multiple PhDs, and we do a range of work for later stage investors and corporations in aquaculture. Myself and with 9 other members, we are from Hatch programs. We run 3 to 5 venture development programs around the world annually for about 40 plus startups, and we receive hundreds of applications annually. And last but not least, we acquired the Fish Site in 2020. It's the world's most read English publication for aquaculture, and it has recently developed its in-house branding and media agency as well. If you are a Brazilian Portuguese or Spanish speaker, you'll be happy to know that it's also translated into those languages. And across these 4 business units, we really seek to drive synergies and to use the different platforms, insight, intelligence, and network to build and support the next generation of aquaculture innovators. About myself, really quick, graduated from Yale and US, born and raised in Singapore, passion like many of you for the marine ecosystem since young, prior experience in marine conservation, EY and Conservation International. And it's coming up to 6 years now since my time at Hatch Blue. Below are some photos that attest to this. Right. I'm sure some of the other companies here think differently, but we like to think of ourselves as the world's leading accelerator in aquaculture and alternative seafood. Some of our numbers here. And what is the Hatch Blue Crest program that I'm here to talk to you about? So the photo here is from our demo day in Singapore in 2024, and I want you to remember 3 things. We bring industry insights, we give you global exposure, and you walk away with concrete outputs. The first thing, we started our first accelerator early 2018. We were founded late 2017. And over time, we've really gained and accumulated a lot of expertise. And we use this expertise in this network to provide you strategic advice and business review, also to offer investor readiness analysis and advice. When you join us and you join our community, you will be joining aquaculture founders, entrepreneurs, CEOs like yourself in the blue economy of more than 144 different ventures, and that continues to grow. And last but not least, you also get really personalized discussions with industry leaders, not just in one country, but across multiple geographies, across our offices and locations in Hawaii, Norway, Singapore, and the rest of Southeast Asia as well. And you get personalized one-on-one time with them to test your hypothesis and validate your technology. The second point really is a differentiator for us is our global exposure. The photo on the right is on an abalone farm in Hawaii on the Big Island where we have our office. And you really get exposure to a global network of investors, industry stakeholders, farmers, and first adopters to really understand what the global aquaculture ecosystem is like. Across these trips also, you will go on customer and industry discovery trips to farms and feed mills in Hawaii, Norway, Singapore, Vietnam, and Indonesia, depending on which trip you come on. So just a bit of insight into these different locations. We always start our programs in Hawaii. This is from our Accelerator last year, the launch kickoff. We introduce you to the community and ecosystem, and then we have a lot of one-to-one chats. This is where in Hawaii, where we really get to know you as a company so that A, we know how to work with you best, and B, we know the insights and your true needs as a company to develop your concrete outputs. This is you can't really see it, but it's one spinner dolphin over there on our boat ride out to see the blue ocean mariculture offshore net pens. Next is Norway. Norway is really different from Hawaii. Norway is the world's most mature aquaculture ecosystem. They produce more than 50% of the world's salmon. And after the introduction in Hawaii, the companies are a lot more ready to go to places and see full-scale RAS facilities like the one over here for salmon. And then we take them out to the fjords to really experience what it's like to see the salmon farming and open net pen operation. Some days it's sunny and some days it's rainy. We don't control the weather, but we will bring you to see some fish. And this is an open net pen. Finally, we bring you to see Southeast Asia, right? Norway is really focused and concentrated. Southeast Asia is a whole other beast in and of itself. Shrimp is actually more valuable than salmon by total farm gate value globally if you're looking at exports. And a lot of that shrimp and other aquaculture species is farmed in Southeast Asia with a really, really different ecosystem. We'll bring you to see shrimp farms. This is a high-tech shrimp farm in Vietnam, a hatchery in Vietnam, and us looking happy and sweaty in different types of, and showing our cohorts really different types of shrimp farms. And this is in Singapore, which is a real hub for research and innovation. This is seeing some of the barramundi hatcheries on St. John's Island, just south of Singapore. And this is us after a long day sweating around the island of St. John's. Finally, I want to talk to you about our concrete outputs. The reason why we call Hatch Blue the Crest program the next generation of accelerators is because we felt we needed to innovate in terms of the accelerator model. It's been around. Y Combinator first kicked off in 04-05. We felt that we wanted our companies to walk away with concrete outputs. These are business assets that companies would either, like yourselves, would either invest time and or money to make. We make 3 of these in-house: the market and competitor assessment, the branding strategy, and also the intellectual property strategy. Based on our experience over the years, we deliver fantastic corporate brand guides that completely transform the way your business looks and feels. We offer a market and competitor assessment based on models that we built from the ground up. Maybe you wouldn't necessarily agree with the final number of the TAM and SAM that you come up with, but nonetheless, this is also a forum for you to test some of your hypotheses and also to see how we benchmark you against your competitors. Finally, with our in-house knowledge about aquaculture IP as well, we tell you and we give you an idea and work together with you on your intellectual property strategy to make sure that you continue to have an advantage in the market. Last but not least, we have partnered with Blue Food Performance. They are a sector specialist for life cycle assessments and can help you validate and verify your true impact and true sustainability, not just to us, but to your wider ecosystem of customers and investors as well. So I hope this has been an insight into what we do on the Crest program, industry insight, global exposure, and concrete outputs. I'm gonna walk through this quickly. We invest in every company on our accelerator program. All this information is on our website. And we invest via an uncapped safe note for the first ticket with options for follow-on investments. We would really invite you to apply for our Crest program. We are seeking applications right now, and I would really hope to see you in Hawaii for our on-site company workshop in July, Norway in September, and Singapore and Vietnam in October this year. This is an idea of who is to join, but really we're seeking the best and brightest innovators with proprietary technology en route to product market fit and companies where we can provide additionality. This is a snapshot of the sectors we invest in. Aquaculture might seem niche, but there are really a range of companies that we invested in, and we've also even expanded this to blue carbon and marine biotech. And there's surprising synergies across Singapore, Norway, and Hawaii, where blue carbon and marine biotech can naturally thrive in these ocean economies. Don't hear it from me, don't take it from me. These are what our companies say about our programs, about what we do with them. And we're really, really fortunate to have worked with amazing founders over the years. And we hope to really continue that work with the founders and builders who are the true stars of the show. Last but not least, you are not alone. It's not just me behind the scenes. We have a global team filled with global experts. And there are, I think, 38 of us as of yesterday. So this is our global footprint. We have experience in aquaculture and the blue economy all over the world. And yeah, we encourage you to apply. Applications have been open since January 2025. Any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or my colleague Katrina about the investment process. So apply now. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Benedict. And again, thanks for your commitment and staying up late to present Hatch Blue. With that, we're moving on to the other side of the world, Jeff, with Blue Action Accelerator.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Amal. Good to see some familiar faces here, and very excited to present Blue Action Accelerator today. I didn't stay up until midnight, but I did have a red eye from meetings in California, so bear with me. I don't have a beautiful presentation like Hatch, but I'm very excited to share what we do. Blue Action Accelerator is based in Freeport, Grand Bahama, in a 230 square mile free trade zone, where our strategic founding partners, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, are in charge of all licensing, planning, permitting, and utility regulation across that free trade zone. So we have remarkable assets in terms of the deepest port on the eastern seaboard south of Halifax, Nova Scotia, one of the largest dry docks in the Western Hemisphere, one of the busiest transshipment hubs in the Western Hemisphere, all at our disposal to take companies and plug them in to industry partners, port infrastructure. The Port Authority is also in charge of all licensing, planning, permitting, and utility regulation, so we can plug companies into the utility that our founding partners regulate as well. We are working in close concert with the national government in the Bahamas to discuss national scale projects quite fluidly. And so I think the access to physical infrastructure, commercial partners, government partners, expedited permitting is a real distinctive value add that we offer through the Blue Action Accelerator. But that's not all. Our accelerator is a joint venture with a group out of London called Founders Factory, arguably one of the most successful business builders in the world of the past 15 years, offices in 17 countries, and they have a full stack business development virtual service platform that they've overlaid on top of our living laboratory proving grounds model in Freeport. So we have sort of twin offerings through this marriage between Blue Action and Founders Factory to comprise the Blue Action Accelerator, where companies coming onto our platform are given $150,000 in cash and a 4-month intensive bespoke program where we pick from a staff of 150 people across Founders Factory's international network to effectively wrap a squad around pre-seed and seed stage companies working in the sustainable blue economy. And we do this 4-month sprint with this intensive business support, product to market fit, business plan development, fundraising, etc. And then we have the deployment component, which can be in Freeport, which is where our base of operations is, but not exclusively. We've got an international network now from Miami-Dade County, Port of San Diego, Port of LA, Port of Vancouver, Barbados, Monaco, on down the line, where we've got active strategic partners working to facilitate deployment for companies coming onto our platform, whether that's a pilot, a demo, or commercial procurement. So we have made 11 investments to date, made 4 more the other day, which we need to close after our investment committee. So that'll be 15. That first 11 companies that we've invested in over the last year and a half have gone on to raise $50 million in follow-on investments. So very, very promising track record thus far. And we work across a range of verticals from ocean plastics mitigation, ecosystem restoration, direct ocean capture, decarbonization of the maritime sector, ocean-based renewables, etc. So we're effectively looking to source best-in-class companies from around the world. We've got innovation partners from Oxford to Google X, and we have deployment partners from Barbados to Monaco. And with our real, I think, distinctive unfair advantage in the free trade zone of Freeport, Grand Bahama. So with that, would welcome anyone here to apply to Blue Action Accelerator. We'd be happy to engage in our due diligence process, and would love to consider you all in our next investment committee, which would be, I think, in July, as it's currently planned. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to share. You can find lots of information on our website. Happy to share our presentation for anyone that's interested and schedule a call to dive deeper on details.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jeff. And we're moving to Kyle from Creative Destruction Lab Oceans.
Thanks, Amal. Hey, everyone. My name is Kyle Woods. I'm a venture manager and also the recruitment lead for CDL Atlantic. Very thankful for the opportunity to present today. Excited to share this overview of CDL in general, but most specifically the ocean stream that I work for. So to start off, talking about CDL, our overarching mission is to accelerate commercialization of science for the betterment of humankind. And with that in mind, CDL delivers a seed stage program for massively scalable science and tech-based ventures. At the core of the program, we focus on mentorship and objective setting. And this is done by matching top-performing venture founders with experienced entrepreneurs and investors, or what we call mentors. So aside from mentorship, the program also offers a number of other benefits, things like opportunities to raise capital from VCs and angels, advice from CDL affiliated scientists, support from MBA students, and also warm introductions to CDL's corporate partners who often work with ventures on pilot projects and can even become first customers for the ventures in the program. The most important thing to note is that all of this is provided completely free of charge. CDL is a nonprofit, and we do not take any equity, nor do we charge any fees for the founders that participate. So since our founding in 2012 at University of Toronto in Canada, CDL has expanded to 11 locations across the world, including 5 in Canada, 2 in the US, 3 in Europe, and most recently 1 in Australia. I'm calling in from CDL Atlantic on the east coast of Canada. Each CDL location runs 1 or more cohorts per year, and they're categorized into different streams of focus. Generally, each stream accepts around 20 companies per year. At CDL Atlantic, for example, we run 2 streams, one of which is the ocean stream, the one that's relevant to the audience today. Each specialized stream is designed with a specific industry in mind or field of technology. But it's important to note that CDL in general is extremely well connected across the global network. I think we often see that ventures find they fit into multiple streams of focus. So even if you end up pursuing CDL Oceans, we're well equipped to draw from the expertise of other partner streams, and to name a few examples, the climate stream, the AI stream, the space stream are just a few that we see a lot of overlap with. And we're well equipped to pull on those streams to help founders when needed. So to talk specifically about the ocean stream, it's designed for ventures disrupting the ocean economy with digital technologies and sustainable solutions. The stream's particularly suited for highly skilled and coachable founders, and also researchers who operate in the ocean economy and who are involved in impactful oceanographic research. So it's diverse, the group of companies that we pursue, and to give a few examples of innovation areas, they include shipping and logistics, sustainable fishing and offshore aquaculture, marine resources and bioproducts, marine and sustainable energy innovations, and even naval and defense, just to name a few. Now, to get to the meat of the presentation, what CDL actually is and how we run our sessions. We've designed our sessions to create what we call a marketplace for judgment. This is where founders can get advice from people who have been in their shoes before. We do this through an 8-month program where we host 4 objective setting sessions, which are intensive full-day meetings that take place once about every 2 months, beginning in the fall of each year, and then ending in the spring of the following year. As a startup, we understand that there's probably hundreds of things that you're working on at any given time. The goal of each session is to help you identify what the 3 key things are that need to be achieved for your business over the next 2 months leading up to the next CDL session. Objective setting is the core of the program, and we're providing a proven process that helps companies cut through the distractions and then focus on what's most important to them. So looking at a typical session day, how do we actually accomplish this? A typical session is split up into 3 main events. the first of them being small group meetings. So in a small group meeting, venture founders are meeting with mentors in a series of short 20-minute closed door meetings. The focus here is on allowing mentors to better understand your company. It serves as an opportunity for them to gain perspective on where you should be focusing your time and efforts. I find it's incredibly helpful for discussing things like financing strategy, customer introductions, even pricing models, human resource plans, marketing. I could go on, all happening in these small group meetings. Following the small group meetings, we bring all of the ventures and all of the mentors together into one big room for what we call the large room discussion. This is where each founding team is granted a 10-minute window in front of this large group. And instead of pitching, we actually conduct a moderated discussion around the company's objectives, where we crowdsource perspectives from individuals in the room with experience building and scaling and even investing in companies like yours. So the idea is at the end of this 10-minute discussion, you'll come out having a very clear picture on where you need to focus your efforts over the next 2 months leading up to the next CDL session. And then to close out the day, a crucial part of the CDL process is what we call deliberations. So admittance into the CDL program is competitive. To actually remain in the program, at least one mentor needs to raise their hand in support of your venture. In doing so, the mentor is volunteering 4 hours of their time to work with you on your company in that period of time between sessions. And then, of course, if no mentors volunteer to work with the company's not brought back again to the next CDL session. To give you a sense of the numbers and how that usually pans out, I mentioned that we admit about 20 companies to the ocean stream per year. We generally see about 50% of the companies making it to the fourth and final session and then receiving a hand raise at that session. So it is competitive, but the focus is on helping companies while they're in the program. So I've mentioned mentors and mentorship a lot. I wanted to take a moment to highlight and elaborate on a few examples. Our dedicated mentors, they play a crucial role in guiding and supporting the ventures. And it's these mentors who volunteer their time to work with CDL companies. They're often exited entrepreneurs, successful operators, or executives, angel investors, and even VC partners. I'll highlight a few here. Erica Heine Montague with Schmidt Marine Technology Partners. There's also Justin Manley, a seasoned technologist and an executive with extensive experience in uncrewed systems, robotics, sensors, other undersea technologies. Johan Odfell, fourth generation owner of an international shipping company, now investing in technology companies. Robert Orr, seasoned business leader, 30 years experience in marine biotech, nutrition, and food industries. He's known for scaling Ocean Nutrition Canada and now leading Cuna Del Mar. A familiar name who we'll be seeing later in the presentations, Millie Pitts, Executive Director of Ocean Exchange, fantastic mentor at CDL Oceans. And then also John Risley, Chairman and CEO of CFFI Ventures, founder of Clearwater Seafoods. Again, just an example of some of the mentors, of which we have dozens in the ocean stream and hundreds across the global CDL network. To quickly talk about the partners, with CDL being a global program, we have broad reach across the ocean ecosystem. To highlight a few examples of our partners here, affiliated organizations, ecosystem partners, all people that support us through funding, allowing us to provide this program for founders for free. Many of these partners also engage in the cohort through pilots or even as customers in some cases. On the other side of the coin, the participants, the ventures in CDL Oceans, just to highlight a few examples of some Oceans graduates and the logos of all the companies I could find that participated in CDL successfully. We admit a diverse group of founders and companies, so if you have any questions about whether or not you're a fit, our team's always happy to have a chat with you about it, and we can talk more and even introduce you to some of the founders that have been through the program to talk about their experience. And I guess to finish off my presentation, why you should apply to CDL, what kind of companies we're looking for. At a high level, happy to chat with anyone that's interested. And we can always talk about timing it right so that you're at the right stage for participating in CDL where you can leverage the mentorship network the best. But in general, we're looking for driven and coachable teams with deep technical expertise and domain knowledge. technologies that are science-based and differentiated, but most importantly, defensible. And then business models and market opportunities that are scalable with the potential to disrupt industries that they're involved in. So applications for CDL open actually in a few days. You can consider me your main point of contact for any questions. The application deadline for the Oceans program isn't actually until the end of July, so we have plenty of time to work together on an application, making sure that it's competitive and talking about the process a bit more. And while I mention this, if you're in the audience and you know of any companies that might be a fit, I would happily welcome referrals, which you can send directly to me. So I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you for the time and attention.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I heard about CDL from a friend who founded one of the companies you supported, and they had great feedback. And I love the idea of market for judgment. We're moving on to Norway now with Sam. On YouTube.
Yes, hello from Oslo, Norway. I think my screen has loaded, so we can kick off. Happy to be here and speaking to all you wonderful founders and seeing some familiar faces come through. So I'm Sam Seelig, investment manager at Katapult Ocean. Katapult Ocean is an ocean impact venture fund based in Oslo, Norway, and our mission is to invest in ocean impact companies that solve climate and biodiversity challenges and provide food and clean water for people globally. So Katapult Ocean is part of the Katapult Group, home of the world's first impact-focused accelerator fund. Our ocean initiative began in 2019, and since then we've invested into 75 ventures globally, making us the most active ocean impact venture fund globally. We've been recognized for a lot of our work across our accelerator program, fund structure, as well as ecosystem building. And of course, that takes a large team. We like to consider ourselves a group of hardworking and committed ocean nerds. We have kind of a broad experience from the blue economy across the financial impact and of course commercial and entrepreneurial side as well. And you can see we have kind of some new team members in our Asian and Africa regional efforts. That's leaning on some ocean friends from around the world, including Ocean Up Africa, which we'll hear from in a second, to really increase our transparency and understanding of those regions as we are a global investor. And as you can see here, we take that role quite seriously. We are looking for the best and brightest, impactful and scalable startups from around the globe. So what kind of companies are we looking for? How do we slice and dice the ocean tech universe? So we break it down into 4 primary verticals, the first being ocean energy. This is primarily energy production technologies relating to wind, wave, solar, tidal, and OTech energy production, as well as the enablement technologies that go along with that, whether that's energy storage, sustainable anchoring and mooring solution, data analysis for offshore energy parks, cabling, etc. The second vertical then is transportation. So this is everything maritime decarbonization, from alternative fuels like hydrogen, methanol, ammonia, to electrification of maritime activities, to optimization technologies such as route optimization and planning softwares, anti-fouling, wind-assisted propulsion, autonomy, and any other efficiency gain technologies. Third then is food and water. On the food side, we do have a no animal harm mandate. So this is largely algae, kind of across the value chain of both micro and macro algae. And then on the water side, we're heavily interested in desalination, brine utilization, and water management systems in general. And then our final vertical is what we call circular resources, and it's really focused on everything ocean health, alternatives to pollutive and degradative materials, and circularity. So it includes companies that are working with biomaterials, plastic mitigation and reduction, natural capital asset restoration for coral reefs, mangrove, seagrass, etc., as well as blue carbon and ocean CDR. And then we kind of wrap everything in ocean data as it's a key unlock across these industries and subsectors. So how do we support companies that we invest into? So we have kind of a twofold investment strategy plus our accelerator program. First and foremost, what we call our accelerator stage investments. These are typically seed to pre-A companies, checks of 150 to 500,000 euros, combined with participation in our accelerator program. We make around 10 of these accelerator investments per year, with our annual program generally taking place September to December. I'll dive in a bit further on the program shortly, but from a high-level perspective, it's a virtual program divided into 3 sprints designed to leverage our experience and network in the relevant ocean industries to help guide founders through complex entrepreneurial issues, add structure to your impact quantification, and help you plan and raise your future capital requirements. The program culminates in an in-person Investor Day in Oslo for those who can attend, and a far-reaching virtual Investor Day for our global network of investors. Throughout it all, we're working closely with members of our ecosystem and informal and perhaps developing into formal mentorship agreements. Upon completion of the program, startups become candidates for our follow-on investments. Our follow-on investments are 1.5 to 4 million euros in kind of your subsequent Series A, Series B rounds. So now the fun part. What does our accelerator program look like? So the first deep dive is what we call impact readiness. As you can see here, that's really us working closely hand in hand with the founding teams and management teams of our ventures to uncover the theory of change, 5 dimensions of impact, assess ESG risks, and really dive in on the impact metrics and measurements. Our guiding light as a fund when it comes to impact is the Ocean Impact Navigator, a framework of ocean impact with 34 KPI co-authored by the 1,000 Ocean startups. So we really try to work with the teams, create an impact management plan that's based on the 1,000 Ocean startups or Ocean Impact Navigator, and really prepare you as your revenue and business grows and scales, your impact will be ready to grow and scale right along with it, and you can communicate that impact. The second month or deep dive then is on financing strategy. So of course, this kind of considers the next 3 to 5 years plus. What capital stack and financing strategy are you looking to deploy? We'll look at the various options for equity investors. What sort of shareholders do you want and value will you be looking for those taking equity in your business? But also looking at alternative sources of financing, whether it's non-dilutive grants, perhaps venture debt, project financing, asset financing, really trying to visualize how are you going to finance the scaling years of your business. The third sprint then is what we call performance readiness. This is kind of taking a long-term, high-level view, 10 plus years out. What is the singular mission and goal of your venture? And we back that into kind of 5-year goals, 2 years, 12 months, 6 months, OKR and KPIs, kind of across your business, whether it's the operational side, commercial side, financial side, of course. Maybe it's getting the right board in place, making sure that all of the hard work you're doing in the near term is well aligned with the long-term vision that you're looking to accomplish with your venture. Of course, we can't do it alone. And so we lean a lot on the ecosystem that we're involved in, whether it's corporations, investments, academia, government, and general ecosystem players. We try to kind of position our ventures at the center of that and leverage the expertise, know-how, and informal support that a lot of these partners are able to give our ventures. So just some examples of companies that have gone through this program. So Ocean Rainforest is one in our food and water segment, one of the largest cultivators or seaweed cultivators in Europe and the US. We invested in their pre-seed round back in 2020 and have since supported that through their scaling years, and some more exciting news coming on their end here. On the energy side, Solar Duck, so one of the leading offshore floating solar technology companies globally. We've invested alongside strategics and continued to support them from pre-seed now through their Series A. Evoy, one of the homegrown flagships, actually Katapult Ocean's first investment back in 2019 before they had anything, and now they're the most powerful electric propulsion system globally. We've kind of continued to work closely with them through their merger with VD Yachts and are excited to see what comes next for Evoy. And then finally, in circular resources, we have Matter, a microplastic filtration company. Again, here, this is one we partnered with quite early in their journey and have since participated in follow-on in their subsequent rounds. So yeah, Katapult Ocean, we really want to build the ecosystem. As you can see, many of the logos here are represented on this call, and I think that's a fantastic sign that we're all pushing in the same direction. So yeah, if you're interested in joining, our applications are open on a rolling basis. Our program starts in September, runs September to December. So the sooner the better. But if you do kind of miss the deadline, it's a soft deadline, but if you're not quite ready to apply for this year, it's an annual program. And so we look forward to seeing your venture come through at some point. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. And great to have many committed ocean nerds, as you say, on this call today. We're moving on to Ocean Hub Africa.
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry, I'm back now. Thank you.
Please go
Hello,
ahead.
everyone. Thank you for the invitation. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, working perfectly.
No, thank you again for the invitation and the opportunity to share the stage with many partners of ours, as Sam said, and also to present a bit more about our work today. So I'm going to talk about Ocean Hub Africa. I'm Erlan Cerveau. I'm the managing director of Ocean Hub Africa, and I'm currently in Cape Town, South Africa, where our headquarters is. So Ocean Hub Africa is currently the leading enabler of ocean impact entrepreneurship on the continent. And initially, when in 2019 we started to think about what we could do about what we could do in order to improve the ecosystem, the ocean impact ecosystem in Africa, we started to talk to African blue entrepreneurs. And by talking to them, we realized that they were full of great ideas, of innovative, bold ideas, and also very market relevant and replicable in many markets. But the problem is that they were left in the blue. They had no one to, no institutions to guide them, to find strategic partners, to talk to the right investor that might be interested in them, and so forth. So when we balance that out with the opportunities that the blue economy offers to Africa currently, we noticed that there was a gap. Not only today, the blue economy is representing 296 billion of revenue for the continent, but there is more that can be achieved. And more specifically, when we know that 13 out of 53 countries in Africa, 38 are coastal countries, and 13 million square kilometers of exclusive economic zone is under African jurisdictions. And we've seen that there's more and more, not only there's a Pan-African strategy around a blue economy, but also there's more and more countries having proper framework in order to develop the blue economy in their countries. And on the other side, so when we were seeing the data that our partner Katapult Ocean were sharing, we were seeing that only 5% of the applications that they were receiving each year was from Africa. So we needed to act and do something. And so this is why we created Ocean Hub Africa in 2020, in that case, and with the role of supporting, connecting, and investing stakeholders in the ocean impact ecosystem. So in terms of supporting, we are supporting mostly, only businesses and innovators in the ocean impact spaces with three different programs: an acceleration program, which is a program that I will talk about now today, a coastal community development program, and also a venture building program. I will focus slowly on the acceleration program today. When it comes to the acceleration program, I think something that we noticed with African-based blue entrepreneurs is that there is a massive issues of capacity. So this is why we developed a dedicated team for our acceleration program that can fill in that issues of capacity that our founders have. So we have like a set of team members with different set of skills: business development, marine science, engineering for product development, angel investment, etc. And they are the ones who are like providing hands-on support and act as like that co-founder or that team members that currently our startups can't afford. Our program is over 7 to 8 months. So we are supporting currently 24 startups a year. And our program is divided into 2 intakes, and the first intake is currently already ongoing. So we are recruiting for our second intake. So I'm focusing mostly on the second intakes. And our program is divided like in 4 big steps. First, when we recruit the startup, we want our support to be very bespoke. So we spend like 3 weeks in order to sit with them, make a complete audit, understanding what's going on their business and what are the next opportunities. And then we define with them 3 to 4 key objectives to achieve under the program. And that will be our roadmap that we will work towards during the duration of the program. And based on that roadmap, we match them with an in-house entrepreneur in residence in order to keep them on track on this work plan. Then once we pass that audit phase, we get into intensive support phase of 8 weeks with bi-weekly coaching sessions led by our entrepreneurs in residence, a monthly cohort check-in. I mean, like being an entrepreneur in the blue economy can be a bit like lonely. So we play a lot into like peer learning and cohort dynamic throughout our program. And then we have like an in-person bootcamp. We designed a specific bootcamp that like is focusing on like common challenges faced by the cohort, and we organize that in person. The next one will be in May, for instance, in Kenya. And the reason why we organize it in person is because like connectivity can be a challenge to have like efficient online training across Africa, but it also allows us once again to build more like a cohort cohesion. And at the end of this bootcamp, there is also like a blue tech showcase so that the startups, they can pitch to the local ecosystem, maybe like investors, strategic partners, and etc. And something that is also in our program and in intensive support is that we realize that I mean, being a founder is very, very hard, and it's even harder when you are in a difficult context, such as in some African markets. So we also have like a personal development program within our session, within our program, where each founder is paired with a personal development coach so that they also take care of their mental health while they are building their business. Then after that, we let our founder a bit like work by themselves, meaning that we are there, but for 6 weeks, they will have like to make progress by themselves on their work plan. And then they can get back to us if they want advice. The reason why we do that is because we know that like most of the startups, they get into our program to have access to our network, because we are well positioned on the continent, but also globally with many ecosystem players, and we want to make them understand that they need to deserve it. So for 6 weeks, they make progress by themselves. We are here to help if needed. And then after these 6 weeks, we have like a selection process where only the ones who were able to hit their objectives will get into our final phase. And that final phase is that phase where we go full on engagement with potential strategic corporate partners, investors, and etc. So what we offer in that program, I mean, you will get like the full details of support and mentorship. And I know that like based on feedback on our founders, what they like is having that dedicated resource working with them and holding their hand in a bit for a moment. Network, we have we have the advantage of organizing and hosting the biggest ocean innovation summit on the continent. So every year, all of our founders who graduate our program can come and meet with the ecosystem, and of course we connect them with some global ocean ocean innovation events. For instance, we're bringing them to UNOC soon in France to be able to grow their network. We provide fundraising support for the moment, and I will give like some data when it comes to the results of that. And Katapult Ocean currently is jumping in also in terms of giving some guidance to our funders when it comes to investment, when it comes to fundraising. So we have our access of, we give them access to our network of investors, and we also have like a small grant facilities which enable us to select some founders and give them like up to $15,000 to hit some of the objectives that are in their work plan. And then we have like some service packages. I'm not going to detail all of them, but the two that are the most appreciated is having access to top-notch engineering design software, with also having the support of our engineering residents to help them like leverage as much as possible these engineering softwares. And we're talking like 3D prototyping, testing, etc. And of course, access to 3 of our legal advisory firms. Is the program for you? Actually, the funders that like we are looking for needs to operate in Africa. They can be registered in another country, but they need to have like operations in Africa. They need to have like a direct or indirect ocean impact. It needs to be positive, whether it is like fighting against ocean pollution, helping with blue food, sustainable food, or energy product, ocean-based energy, etc. We just need to have like a clear evidence of a direct ocean impact. We prefer post-MVP startups that we've worked with, startups who were close to MVP as well, so that's fine. We need to see like a clear innovative aspect in the business, which is whether it is like in the technology itself, but also in the way they do business actually. And we also are very sensitive to social innovation, because it's quite like relevant to our markets. And when they enter the program, they need to have like a clear focus on either like being ready to raise investment or wanted to grow their customer base. These are, yes. I need to wrap up. All right, cool. I will close with that, and then with a link. So today we have like 40 alumni who raised since 2020 $15.4 million. And just to wrap up, I would just like to tell you that like we are currently recruiting for our second intake. And we have a Q&A session about our program that is happening on the 3rd of April. And you can scan that QR code in order to register for that Q&A session. Thank you very much. And yeah, I hope you join the movement.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Erlon. I loved when you mentioned that you guys take care of founders' mental health. I know a lot of program leads here are discovering what others are doing, and this is a fantastic offering to take away and implement in your programs if it's not there already. And with that, we're moving to a keystone person in the ocean community, Millie. Let me share the screen and unmute you.
Hello, thank you. This is quite an opportunity. And I want to tell you that Amal mentioned 1,000 Ocean Startups. I'm on the steering committee of that. Katapult is very active in that. Ocean Hub Africa is. I was mentioned in CDL, I'm a mentor there. What you're going to find if you're fairly new to this space is that we're all very cooperative and we help each other. And it's really quite a fun and impactful thing. So we have legally been around 15 years. We've had 13 years of grant giving, which I'll tell you about. So here's some numbers. In fact, we were really one of the first in this space for non-defense, non-offshore oil and gas startups for ocean that would be privately funded. It's kind of hard to think back. Some of you are probably so young, but you have to think back even to 2010 when we were legally founded. So we've been around that long. We give away free money to startups, and that usually gets people's attention. So we do not take equity. We aggregate family and corporate philanthropy into a big pot. We go out and find the startups wherever they are in the world. So we're agnostic about geography, although we would love to see more from Asia and the Southern Hemisphere in our process. We vet them through a group of subject matter experts that you could find on our website. You could see last year's group. It's a little different group, but we had 70 experts that went through these. They give us about $250,000 of free time to vet these applications. We down select to a group every year between 10 and 15, and we give away a series of $10,000 non-dilutive funds, and we do not charge for application to this. We also have collegiate awards, and I won't really get into that today, but we've had these not since the beginning, but for several years. And we see that as a pipeline into our other award process. So you see the numbers here. We have an annual event in Fort Lauderdale. Once we've down selected to these finalists, we bring them at no charge to Florida for 4 days, and they pitch in front of a group of curated experts. They're either investors or they're key in these markets. And we are very, very broad. Anything about the ocean and coastal system we like. I often get asked the question, does the solution actually have to sit in the ocean water to be an ocean solution? And that's not true. And one example is in the agriculture area. We know that a lot of dead zones in the ocean are caused by ag runoff. It's killing, it's causing nutrient overgrowth in key big bodies of water around the world. So we would consider that an ocean solution. One number I want to call to your attention, of these finalists that we brought to our event and that we help in other ways over 13 years, since they came into Ocean Exchange, they have raised $3.1 billion of funds. 93% of that are seed rounds, A, B, and C rounds. We've had a couple of IPOs in here. We've had exits by acquisition. The other 7% is largely other big grants, like from the EU or the US Department of Energy as examples. 3.1 billion. Now, we can't take credit that they've all raised 3.1 billion, but we added value along the way, not just at Ocean Exchange, but other things we do, like mentorship at CDL. Some examples of former finalists who have raised big money. We can stay there for a second. EcoSubsea, it's a Norwegian company. It's a robotic that cleans biofilm off of big ships. It reduces drag and it helps with invasive species. 12 is a US company. They take captured carbon and they effectively recycle it. They're building a big facility in the state of Washington in the US. Microsoft is an investor. They've gone through a Series C of fundraising, and some of the offtake from that factory will be taken by Air Alaska. So that factory will make aviation fuel from captured carbon. Monesto is a Swedish company. They have a big installation in the Faroe Islands. They had an IPO on the Swedish NASDAQ. They used some of the money they got from us to actually get ready for that IPO. I was going to say, move on. Wave Glider, our very first winner was acquired by Boeing. They were one of the first surface ocean vehicles collecting data. So next slide. Thank you. We are truly global. Just the companies I mentioned are all over the place. You see where finalists have come from. You see where the solutions are. And when I say that we're very, very broad, you can kind of get a sense of that. Next slide. We have an open call for solutions right now. You can find this on our website, oceanexchange.org. We have Neptune Awards, we have Collegiate Awards. This year we're doing something different. We have regional deadlines. So if you've heard about Ocean Exchange before, I encourage you to really pay attention to the regional deadlines because you won't be allowed into, another region. We will select 30 semifinalists in the first round, and then we will select down to 15 finalists. And we will do that by region. Our event is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's a wonderful place to come in October. We pay the airfare and hotel for one founder to come wherever they are in the world. I think the founder that's come the longest distance over the years was from Tasmania. So I think that individual won that record. You can read the process and eligibility here, but we are looking for startups that are have a working prototype. We're kind of generous in how we describe that. If you're familiar with technology readiness levels, our real sweet spot is TRL 6, 7, and 8. We accept some and we see some as early as TRL 5, and we certainly see some at TRL 9, 9 being ready to launch. Next slide. What do we focus on? There are really three elements. One is impact. We're seeking big, globally scalable solutions, right? Now, we all know startups, you founders know you can't go global from the beginning. You may be focused in one specific area for all your proof of concepts, but we want things that could be scaled. So consider that. The next one is level of innovation. While many of these have big social impact, most of what we see has a foundation of some kind of science and technology underneath it. So often there is important intellectual property, but it's a whole lot more than that. This is a proxy that we think about. How is this solution, how does it stand up to other in-kind and not-in-kind solutions to solve that problem? So also, if it's competitive, it can attract talent and funding and partners. The third is the ability to execute. We look at the team, we look at the business model. Most solutions we see cannot be implemented, standalone on their own. So people need important partners. We don't require that the startup has their partners lined up. We want to hear their logic. What kind of partners do they need? What are the characteristics of their partners that are going to lead them to success? And it's an imperfect world. There are some barriers to entry for a lot of these, whether it's permitting or the market structure that they're trying to enter. We want to hear from those founders that they understand what they're going to do to mitigate the risk of going to market. Next slide. Wrapping up, you can see a number of our key partners and funders. Royal Caribbean, we're very close to the cruise industry, if that's of interest to you. And I won't go through all of these, but it illustrates that we take the corporate and family philanthropy and then we redistribute it as philanthropy. We do not take equity. You see key deadlines here. My contact information is here. Take a picture of that with your phone. You can contact me or Susan. One other thing, this graphic in the middle, I have 10 seconds. The left-hand side is the grant giving. The right-hand side is all that other help that we give through 1,000 Ocean Startups or CDL or other partnerships that we have. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Millie. Really great to have you here. And as you mentioned, the ocean community is really quite interconnected. Camila, 1 second. Let me unmute you. And last program to present is Sustainable Ocean Alliance Ecopreneur Network. If you want to be part of a huge ocean community, especially if you're below 35, I do recommend joining Sustainable Ocean Alliance. And if you don't know how to do that, please get in touch. Camila, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Amal, and thank you for the NatureTech Collective for hosting us. It's such an honor to be here. I'm super excited to share with all of you a little bit more about Sustainable Ocean Alliance and how we're working towards protecting and restoring the ocean within our lifetime. A little bit more about our model. So in our approach, we have 2 sectors within SOA, one investing in people and the other funding incredible solutions. So the people side of things, we have built the world's largest network of young ocean leaders across the world, empowering thousands of youth across 186 countries, where together they've created 84 youth-led hubs with all the mission of protecting and preserving the ocean. And on the other side, we have the Ecopreneur Network, where we provide opportunities for critical funding for startups and nonprofits to develop innovative solutions to the greatest threat facing our ocean. These solutions are all over the world and across many different industries, but just wanted to give you a snapshot of our global community, super active and incredible hub where we have brought together so many incredible people from all around the world. So you can see we have, as I mentioned, the 84 youth-led hubs. We have 7,000 youth leaders across the world, over hundreds of open committed investors that are in our ecosystem that we can help connect our startups to. We have 26 policy advisory council members and hundreds of ecopreneurs, as well as mentors that support our ecosystem. And I mentioned ecopreneurs. So what is the Ecopreneur Network? It's a program of lifetime support that assembles the world's most ambitious ocean ventures and helps to amplify their efforts to achieve transformative planetary impact. Our mission demands commitment that spans a lifetime to foster a systemic change on a global scale. And we've really seen that providing this lifetime support for our startups, really meeting them where they're at across every stage, across all these different industries that they're working towards. So an ecopreneur is really just an entrepreneur whose business model includes a focus on creating a positive impact on our environment and our ocean. As you can see here, we have a very vibrant community of startups that are currently in our Ecopreneur Network. We have 64 across many different industries and countries, spanning across our 5 different impact areas, which include ocean data literacy and research, ecosystem species and species preservation and restoration, such as coral vita and others, blue foods, that includes fisheries, aquaculture, and seafood alternatives, such as oshi, pollution reduction and circular use, waste removal or avoidance, so companies doing alternatives to bioplastics, such as SOA, and cruise film, and as well as, last but not least, we have greenhouse gas reduction, so blue carbon and CO2 removal or avoidance. And these are companies such as CalWave, working on wave energy generation and such. So you'll be in great company within the Ecopreneur Network. And I think one of the most wonderful things that differentiates us is to really, you're in company with wonderful ecopreneurs, and I think this is a great testament to our building the community. And you can see here our ocean impact. So every year we come out with an impact report, which our 2024 data will be available soon. We're hoping to have that ready for you in the next month or so. But you can see across those 5 impact areas that I mentioned, the incredible impact that our community has had, from data collection to tons of food generated, blue food generated, to hectares of coastal ecosystems restored, CO2 avoided or removed, and tons of solid pollution avoided or removed. So it's incredible impact that you'd be a part of, and we help companies measure and track this within our Ecopreneur Network. So what are the benefits of joining? We have, as I mentioned, lifetime support that includes one-on-one readings with our incredible team of advisory services, where we have office hours with industry experts as well as mentors to really meet them where they're at and understand what kind of support is needed. So whether it is funding support or connecting with different members of our community or our ecosystem, we can help you do that. So we have an incredibly robust mentorship network with over 300 mentors throughout various different industries and expertise, where we can map you directly to mentors and help you gain skill-based mentor network groups, both in one-on-one sessions, group sessions, as well as supporting in person or getting ready for your fundraising. That said, we have funding opportunities available from our investor network. So you'll gain access to SOA's network of ocean committed investors through events, one-on-one connections, warm introductions, and more. Last year, we had our inaugural SEAS event, where we brought together a global network of our startups here in San Francisco, the Bay Area, to connect them directly with investors and mentors to help them raise money and meet their goals. We also have thought leadership and media exposure, so helping to amplify the work that you're doing. SOA has an incredible LinkedIn newsletter that I invite you all to check out, where we highlight all of the different solutions and their implementations that are working across the world. We'll also give you access to our partner offerings, incredibly robust community that you'll have membership within SOA verified global ocean partners. And finally, we'll have, as a part of the Ecopreneur Network, you'll be eligible for investment of up to $100,000. So a little bit more about that. One of the ways that SOA differentiates itself is in the ocean impact space is by being able to rapidly provide nimble, friendly capital to a diverse global community of ocean-focused people and organizations. We take a unique approach to solving key ocean challenges by deploying capital through a combination of grants to grassroots organizations and leaders, as well as investments in for-profit startups. This strategy has led SOA supporting a diverse community of people, driving ocean solutions, and measuring a range of metrics and magnitudes. So here you can see how much we've invested from the SOA side that have been accepted to the Ecopreneur Network companies. And total, our startups that are part of our ecosystem have raised almost $500 million. And we have an affiliate venture fund called Seabird Ventures, which is our venture capital fund that invests primarily in SOA-backed companies that help heal our ocean. They have invested over $2 million within our Ecopreneur Network. And a key highlight that we'd like to show is that 70% of the Seabird Venture investments have a female CEO. Again, you can see our invest and focus on these 5 categories across our impact area. And we primarily work with companies anywhere from seed, Series A, but across our network, we have companies that have even reached Series C level. I'm really excited to share this opportunity with you. This initiative is built with SOA in collaboration with the Solar Impulse Foundation, where we have launched the Ocean Solution Label. This is the industry's first certification label to recognize companies promoting solutions that contribute to the sustainability of the ocean sector. This Ocean Solution Label builds on the Solar Impulse Foundation efficient solution label, recognizing ocean positive companies with a stamp of approval for their efforts to deploy business practices to help protect and preserve the ocean. Why apply? You'll gain a prestigious certification that verifies your impact. You'll benefit from the rigorous impact evaluation methodology developed in collaboration with ocean experts, investors, and scientific leaders. And you'll be able to boost your company's visibility and exposure. So this will be relevant to any of the startups that are a part of any of the accelerators that we're presenting today. And we're really excited to offer this opportunity for all. There's no deadline to apply, so feel free to share in your application. The links will be in the chat, and you can reach out to our team for any questions or curiosities. Thank you so much. An ocean of gratitude for all of you for being here, for doing the work that you're doing. Please feel free to reach out to me. My email is camila@soalliance.org, and you can also reach out to our team at ecopreneurs@soalliance.org. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Camila. Thank you. And as you say, ocean of gratitude to everyone here, not just for joining, but for your dedication and commitment, whether you're building a solution for a sustainable blue economy or you are supporting founders and innovators in the space. And as you said, again, you are in a great company. It's really important that this community is able to connect and collaborate. And I hope we're trying to create a space for that. So thank you, everyone. Have a great